It's time to convene the swearing-in meeting. Do I need to say that again? Okay. Good evening. The meeting for 5:45 is called to order. This is for the swearing-in, and this is Monday, January the 19th, 2017. Oh, no, the 9th, sorry. Yeah, jumping ahead. I don't have an agenda, so I'm going to wing it for that. I've got the regular agenda. I don't have it for the extra meeting. Thank you, Dr. Dillon. Okay. All right. Now I'll know what year it is. Okay. And we're going to have a welcome by the superintendent, Dr. Tiller.
I'd just like to welcome all of our community members and family members of our board members to be sworn in this evening, and also our returning board members. And we just want to thank you for being here and being a part of this ceremony.
Thank you, Dr. Tiller. And Mr. William B. Rogers, Jr., who's the solicitor of the 4th Judicial Court Circuit, is here to swear in Mr. Michael Coachman, Ms. Nan Fleming, and the newcomer, Mr. William Mackey Norton.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Where do you want everybody to stand?
Right there's fine. If any of you folks have people you'd like to hold the Bible for you, you can have them come forward at this time. I think they'll do you all at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. I've been through this twice, but I'm not sure I remember. Want to share the Bible there, Ms. Fleming? Okay.
I brought one from home.
Oh, did you? Good.
First, I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you. This is a big honor and a big responsibility, and I appreciate y'all's willingness to serve. First, I'd like to ask you to raise your right hand and place your left hand on the Bible, and repeat after me. I, and state your name. Do solemnly swear that I am duly qualified according to the Constitution of this state to exercise the duties of the office to which I have been elected, and that I will, to the best of my ability, discharge the duties thereof, and preserve and protect and defend the Constitution of this state and of the United States. So help me God. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
And Mr. Norton, if you come up front, we have your seat ready for you.
And Mr. Norton, you'll find that we have a chief in charge of adjournment, and that's Mr. Coachman. Yes, before Mr. Coachman goes, Dr. Tiller wants to say something else.
I'd just like to share that I received a text message earlier today from Ms. Bright, and she wanted me to express her sincere regrets for not being able to be here this evening. Her son is in intensive care. So I just wanted everyone to know that's the only reason she's not here.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Coachman, do your thing.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. See how neat it is when we have a chief in charge of adjournment? Works every month. We've got to wait a little while. One again. And regular monthly meeting, Monday, January the 9th, 2017, is called to order. There's been notification of the news media. Mr. Branch, would you please have an invocation for us?
Let's pray. Lord, we just thank you so much for this day. Thank you for another year. Lord, we look forward to the great things happening in our district this year. Lord, we ask prayers on this board as we've got new members joining us tonight. Lord, we just ask for your prayers for us. Lord, I ask a special prayer tonight for Miss Bright's son, Kareem, as he's in ICU, and also Robert Goff's dad. Lord, we ask that you be with our students and our administrators and all these things. In your name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. And we need approval of the agenda.
Madam Chair, I make,
And this is a question to the board. Normally at our January meeting, we do an election of officers.
Okay.
So I would move to amend the agenda to add that at the appropriate place, which may be in the open session after approval of the minutes or something like that.
I'll second that.
After approval of the minutes.
approval of the agenda? Or
Well, we can do it
now?
Let's just
after
do it
the
now.
individual board items. Oh, now?
Yeah, let's do it now.
You want to do it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Make the motion to do that.
All right, then I'll amend that motion. Why don't I just do a new motion? Let's say
That's right,
we will-
yeah.
We will vote for election of board officers at this time at our normal January meeting, as we have done in the past.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, please raise your right hand. And the motion's carried unanimously. So now I'll entertain the nomination of members for vice chair.
Madam Chairman?
I'd like to nominate Mr. Driggers, if he'd be willing.
I'll second that motion.
All right, are there other nominations? All right, all in favor of Mr. Driggers, please raise your right hand. And it's unanimous, thank you. And now we need a motion for nomination of secretary.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to nominate Ms. O'Nation.
Is there a second?
This year.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, are there any other nominations? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Keep them up so we can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All opposed? And are you abstaining? Okay, so we have 6 in favor, 1 abstention, and 1 opposed, and the motion's carried. Thank you very much. And under new business, we have recognitions. Dr. Cobb, the Cleanliness Award. And by the way, everyone, I have been informed that if we're not done by 8 o'clock, the room will be empty because Clemson is playing. And I started off saying, well, you can see the end, and I was told that won't count. You have to see the whole game. So I don't know if that applies for the women, but I've been told there'll be no men in here after 8 o'clock. You looking for people departing now?
Madam Chair, school board members would like to recognize for the Cleanliness Awards for the district facilities other than the schools, for the district office. And we're going to ask Mr. Claude Barnes to come. And for the schools, back once again. They've been out of it for a while. I'm sure they'll be glad to know. That is Clio Elementary Middle School. And as she said, one of their custodians is a basketball coach, so he's at basketball practice, and the other one had an
I hope they losing. They playing wild.
Hey, man. What's wrong with you?
This could turn into a coliseum tonight.
Hey, man, what's wrong with you? Don't you want them to lose? What's wrong with you? You say I ain't say nothing. I keep it moving.
The next item is Board Appreciation Month. Dr. Tiller.
Good grief, this is beautiful, honey, this is beautiful.
Excuse me, does Mackie get all these presents?
You think he has to work a little bit first? That's good.
The new boy gets a little rib, you know.
The hazing has begun.
Good evening once again. I have the privilege this evening of recognizing our school board. As you know, this is School Board Appreciation Month, and this is the month that we set aside each year to say to our board members in South Carolina, thank you for all that you do to support our school districts, for your time that you give in the meetings and training and establishing policies, and all the other things that you do. We just want to say thank you for your hard work and dedication to our school district. This evening, we have some wonderful gifts for you that our schools have provided, as well as the district office. And I want you to know, in front, we have some portraits that our students have done of us from the School of Discovery. And so we set them off to the side this year because we realized that in the past it's hard for you to see around your gifts. So we hope that you will enjoy all the gifts from the district as well as from our individual schools. And we hope that you will cherish your portraits that our students at School of Discovery have done.
Amen.
And
Was that one student or different students doing the drawings?
different students. Ms. Deese is not able to be here with us this evening because she's having some car trouble. But different students actually did those, their portraits of us.
I hope they signed them. Did they sign them? If they
Not sure.
I like my artist. She gave me some hair.
She gave you hair. I'm sure that we can find out exactly who did each portrait. So I thought that was very nice that our students thought to do that. In addition, this year at our superintendent's meeting back in November, we were presented the information that you have in front of you for each board member. And this is coming from the School Boards Association, the South Carolina School Boards Association, and it was supposed to be read. And they're asking for each board member to sign at the end of this presentation, and I will read it. It says, as a member of the board of Marlboro County School District, we pledge our efforts to improve public education in our community and will solemnly try to represent the interests of the entire district when making decisions and to rely on available facts and on our judgment rather than on individuals or special interest groups. Understand the proper role of the board to set policies governing the district and to hire the chief administrative officer to carry out these policies. Encourage an open exchange of ideas by all board members during the decision-making process. Seek regular communications between the board and students, staff, and all segments of the community. Attend all board meetings to study issues facing the board and to enact policies and official actions only after full discussion at such meetings. Work with other board members in a conscientious and courteous manner befitting the public trust placed in the position of the school board trustee. Communicate concerns and public reaction to the board policies and school programs to the superintendent and other board members in a professional manner. Support employment of the persons best qualified for staff positions and to ensure a regular and impartial evaluation of all staff. Avoid conflicts of interest and to refrain from using our board positions for personal or partisan gain. Encourage recognition of the achievements of students and staff and of the involvement of the community residents. Support legislation and funding which will improve the educational opportunities and environment for students and staff. Take no individual action which would compromise the integrity of the board or administration and to respect the confidentiality and information that is privileged under the Freedom of Information Act. Study current educational issues and to participate in training programs such as those offered through the South Carolina School Boards Association and the National School Boards Association. And make our district's educational setting the best possible to encourage all students to achieve and to love learning. And this comes from the South Carolina School Boards Association as well as the National School Boards Association. And what they've done is they presented each district this poster, and this is the poster that each board member is asked to sign that we're supposed to duplicate and hang up in the district office and throughout our district. And so I don't know if the board wants to sign now.
We're not supposed to sign this one?
No, ma'am, this one,
This one.
because this is the one that we will frame and post. Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess
All right.
we can put it right here.
All right, next, approval of,
Do you want me just to bring it around there?
I'm
just
ready to sign.
pass it on around. Yeah, we'll get it done. We'll multitask.
And before we move on, I just, in closing, would just like to say, once again, we appreciate all that you have done for our district and that you will do. And Mr. Norton, I'd like to say welcome to you and also say that it is real refreshing to have a former educator sitting on the board. So thank you, and board members, we appreciate all that you do.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor.
And also just wanted to say that the frame that you see sitting in front of my seat, that's the frame that they gave us to actually frame it for every district.
Hang on a second, I can't write and talk at the same time. Here you go, Ms. Fleming. All right, next we need approval of minutes for December 5th, 2016 and December 8th, 2016. Can we vote on those together, or does anyone have something with either set of minutes?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes for December 5th and December 8th of 2016.
Second.
All in favor, please raise your right hand. All right, thank you. The motion's carried. Ms. Morris. Individuals or groups who wish to appear before the board, I don't believe we have any, do we? Ms. Morris? All right. And individual board items for February board meeting. Does anyone have anything they want added to the agenda? Mr. Coachman?
Yes, I wanted to add, let's talk about bus drivers
Okay.
and bus driver salaries.
Anyone else?
Yes.
Reverend Woods?
Update on advanced ed progress.
Okay. Mr. Norton, do you want to?
This is for February?
Yes.
This is for February. Yes, I'd like to discuss the policy. I'm not sure what the actual title of the policy is, but
We'll look it
it's
up.
the one that dealt with the consultants that y'all discussed last time. I think there should be a salary cap as well as a limit on the number of days without approval.
Okay. Anyone else? Mr.
I would
Branch?
like some information on the parking lot here at the high school, if it hadn't already been repaired. I'm not sure what the status of that is.
Mr. Driggers?
I'm not sure yet whether the bids have been advertised for the Blenheim Fields. And I would very much like an update on that next month, please. I know that Mr. Brown's going to give us an update on what's going on with the fields, but I think the bid placement may come through Mr. Parks' division. So I'd very much like an update on whether the bids have been placed yet or not.
Ms. Fleming?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. Ms. Nation?
Yes, I do have an issue with Toys for Tots. I just want to
Okay.
put that on the agenda.
Okay.
Could I add another, please?
Yes.
I'd like to discuss the way the Cleanliness Award is presented, not against the Cleanliness Award, but I'd like to discuss the way it's presented.
Okay. Good deal. All right, moving on. Administrative Services, an update on small projects for information only. Dr. McLeod.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair,
evening.
members of the board, Dr. Tiller. I have to report that over the holidays, we were able to remove the carpet and replace with tile 6 classrooms in the McCall School, 2 classrooms at the high school. We also replaced all of the broken tile in the hallways at the high school with the exception of one area in the gym lobby. Also, we got painting done, 2 hallways at McCall, at School of Discovery, the Teachers Lounge, as well as 1 hallway over at Bennettsville Intermediate School. We got 2 hallways, and they're still working over there. Also, at Wallace, they put in the concrete pad for the storage building on the outside of Wallace. Also at Wallace right now, we have an excess of gas tanks up there, and that's because of the cold weather, the propane gas wasn't turning to from a liquid to a gas fast enough, so they had to add extra tanks in order to push the capacity up to make sure that gas was getting to the boiler, because the boiler has a sensor on it that if it's not getting enough, then it shuts it down. So the contractor is working on that, but in order to make sure that nothing shut down, they added about 11 extra gas tanks up there.
Are you
All right.
indicating they will be moved, or are we going to have something? Is that-
Those tanks will eventually be moved.
Will we increase the capacity in another way?
Well, I think they're going to put a device on there that's designed for it to change over faster at a later date. But because, it was immediate and that the temperatures were coming in this weekend, that was the fastest way that they could remedy the problem. Also, got a quote on building an external kitchen on the end of the building, and it came in at $255,000.
Say that again.
$255,000 for a full kitchen at the end of the building, as opposed to trying to go in and tear out
What
and
building?
redo.
Which building? What are we talking about now?
We're talking about the high school, the culinary arts department.
What was it going to cost to fix the old one?
We never did get a price on that.
Oh, that's right, because you hadn't done that thing. That's right. Okay.
Remember, nobody would give us a price on it.
Right.
So this is a price for the building, and does it include the engineering costs and architect costs?
Yes,
So this
it
is really
includes
a better amount of
engineering
money,
and architectural costs included in
much
this.
better than what we had earlier projected with the tear out and all.
Right.
I guess they like starting from scratch.
Well, if you tear out and build back, you're doing double work anyway.
Yeah.
And then with the Office of School Facilities, it's really a problem whenever you dealing with older buildings, because you have to bring those older buildings up to the new codes.
Dr. McLeod, I've had some questions from the students, and you may already have addressed this, Madam Superintendent and others, but the children had asked, would there be any way with the new culinary arts situation where food could actually be served, where food could be served, I guess, by children picking it up outside. I don't think you'd have a window there, I'm not saying that, but like a drive-in situation, but it'd be a walk-in situation where food could be served. This was a question that came from the students asking if there's some way to do that. And I don't know exactly the appropriate...
To train them in the etiquette?
Well, basically not that, but to actually provide a way to have income.
Well, what happened?
And I don't know if that's allowed in terms of what we have, but I wanted to pose that question to you.
It's not allowed whenever it competes with the lunchroom.
Right.
If it's done some other time during the school day.
And I will have a conversation with you about that before we finalize this. I thought it was a good suggestion from the students and a way to involve them with the community as well. If that, we got liability questions, all kinds of questions, but...
It would be similar to running a school store.
Yes.
Put that
So I
on
just
the
want to
list
put that in there,
forward,
okay?
If you would, please. Okay, thank you, Dr. McLeod. And Mr. Brown, an update on Wallace and Blenheim ball fields. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to y'all. Good evening, Madam Chairman, board members, and Dr. Tiller. I think Dr. McLeod kind of updated us on the Wallace School with the gas situation, so I won't speak to that. The landscaping has been completed, and they have, the general contractor went over the entire front and back and sides to replant the grass that, excuse me, for whatever reason didn't germinate the first go around. So I went up there Thursday, and it looks a lot better. The grass is coming up and erosion has subsided, excuse me. As far as the Blenheim, since we have to be out of here by 8, I've got a one-liner. The status of the proposed Blenheim ball field, the engineers will have the plans ready for approval by the end of January. Can't get any shorter than that. I'll answer any questions.
And that came from who now?
Our engineer, Jim Blackwell from Laurinburg, who designed the ball fields.
Okay, now, when he says by the end of January, this is going to be the complete structure.
Everything else is designed, and we have the plans. They've been accepted by OSF and approved. The one thing that we didn't have was a DHEC-approved erosion control plan. And we'll have that by the end of the month. So I think Mr. Parks and I talked earlier. I believe that we'll be able to put it out for bids at any time.
But that was my next question.
Yes, sir.
It's at a point where it can be put out for bids right now, or as soon as this end of January.
At end of January, I would say.
January, it
yes,
can be put out for bids.
Yes, sir. I believe so. There's no problem.
I'm not trying to be difficult, but we talked about this several times, and we've already approved it a couple of times to be placed out for bids, so we wouldn't have to be waiting, when OSF said it was okay. So I really, truly want to specify here very, very seriously, I want this done. And I mean, I may be the only one on the board that wants it done, but I don't think I am. But I want this done as soon as possible.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much for that.
Yes, sir.
One other thing.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Coachman.
What about the baseball field situation in Wallace? Do we have any update on that?
The last time we met in September with the general contractor and the architect, Joel Carter, with Jumper Carter Seas, and they were going to go back and check to see if the field could be turned, the existing field facing into the football, making as it was previously. And I've talked to their engineer about that well, before Christmas. And he said he would get on it. He didn't know that it was that rushed, and I told him that it was, and I have not heard back.
And I'm about like Mr. Driggers too. Baseball season
I understand, but yes, sir.
We need to get some done. And the other thing is on the basketball gym on the
Goal?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That it's my understanding that and maybe Ms. Henson could say whether or not, but my understanding from the contractor was the computer had to be sent back to the company. Ms. Henson, are you aware of that?
Yes, what they're doing right now is it's my understanding they're sending it back, and I talked to Spencer, the assistant project manager today, and they were in touch with, when they're coming out to do the goals, so that they do come down, that's your question, and they're replacing, they sent the computer out for it to be off the program. So it's been renewed, you'll see nothing there.
Right.
It hasn't been vandalized or anything. They're just getting
It had to be reprogrammed
Okay, so we'll be able to let it up and down.
to raise and lower. Yes, sir.
Mr. Driggers.
I have one more question,
Yes,
Mr. Brown. When we say the plans,
Yes, sir.
are we speaking of both the baseball and the football?
Yes, sir.
Because, I mean,
Well,
we're not going to get a baseball field for baseball season. So our emphasis right now should be probably football. Hopefully, we might get a football field for football season in August. So I'm saying, so these plans are all together, so it's all rolled together. When we place it out for bid, we're going to get a bid on the football as well as the baseball. Is that what you're saying?
Baseball, softball, and football.
All in one package?
All in one package, yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
And I would do that as a request for proposals on those and bid them individually to see how your money works out.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
I just going to piggyback
Ms.
what
Fleming?
Mr. Driggers. I think we moved into that school. I think, Mr. Driggers, you were not on the board then at that time, were you? We've been in Blenheim how long? 3 years? 5 years.
5 to 6 years.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And just think of all the sports that the young people have missed because we haven't provided that sports activity, football, baseball, and softball, or whatever it was. And I just think we can do better in Wallace. And I don't know, we have the funds, if I'm correct.
We're supposed to.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, that we have the funds, and we understand that when you tell us that the school facility, they're busy, but that's 5 years that our young people have not had an opportunity to participate in any kind of sports with other schools, and that's just kind of, I feel like that's unfair, and I want us to maybe kind of try to do a little faster turnaround in Wallace.
Yes, ma'am.
I certainly appreciate it.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Yes, thank you.
And Mr. Park? Financial report as of December 2nd, 2016 for information only. And then the adoption of the budget calendar 2017-18, and we need a vote for that.
Yes. Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Tiller, you have before you the financial report as of December 2nd, 2016. I don't know if there's any questions that you have with the report at this time.
Any questions, anyone? All right, move right on to the budget calendar.
On an annual basis, of course, we prepare for a budget calendar, and for the fiscal year 2017-18 budget, the calendar is attached. It includes elements, and I'll have you turn to that calendar at this time. You can see that February we have planned 3 subcommittee and strategic planning meetings, and those will address board discussion and input to establish district priorities for curriculum, capital improvement, Human Resources, and Finance. And those sessions are scheduled for the 13th of February, the 20th of February, and then coming to a consensus meeting on the 27th. On March the 6th, we will provide staff recommendations for the 2017-18 year, and of course provide a supplemental listing for those supplemental services. The budget workshop, at a minimum, will have a budget workshop on the 24th of April. Keep in mind that March 19th through the 22nd, we have advanced ed, so we're going to be very busy, of course, during that time, and then also the spring break as well will fall right in that frame in April. On the 1st of May, board, of course, will need to approve an advertisement so that we can advertise that in the Herald on the 11th of May. Budget workshop, again, May 15th, and the public hearing on June 5th, first reading, and of course, second reading on the 12th of June. The calendar is very similar in terms of last year. What we've done here is we've just tried to identify those activities that the board will be directly connected with. I don't know if there's any questions regarding the calendar.
If not, would someone please make a motion?
Madam Chairman, I move that we accept the budget calendar as submitted by Mr. Park.
I second.
All in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Parks.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Harris. Curriculum, instruction, and assessment, the 10-point grading scale clarification for information only.
Good evening. We've included in the package the 10-point grading scale. There were some questions about the procedure that the district uses for assigning grades, and we've included some information. It just basically states that the move from the minimum grade of 60 has been changed to 50 to align with the new grading scale, since the 60 now is a passing grade within the school system on the first and the third 9 weeks. In the second and the fourth 9 weeks at the high school level, teachers can give the authentic grade, which keeps students from being able to utilize that procedure to not do any work, and also in the fourth 9 weeks of our K through 8.
Any questions?
You're doing a mighty fine job.
Is it working at this point?
Well, yes, it should work because it's foolproof.
I hate this grading scale. I hate to say it, but I just think it's absolutely horrible. I wish it were not that way, and I just feel compelled to say that. If you shoot short, you're going to be lower. And
It is what it is, though.
I know, whatever. You've explained it. It doesn't mean we have to like it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for explaining it.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate you.
All right. Dr. Tiller, the superintendent's report.
Ms. Parsons, ladies and gentlemen, good evening once again. I'd like to share that this month is Bus Drivers Appreciation Month, so I'm asking that when you come in contact with one of our bus drivers and members of our transportation department, let's show our appreciation for them. In the next 30 days, we will be actually issuing performance-based incentive checks. And I'm very happy to say that through our TAP grant that we worked so hard to receive, that we will be able to pay out in incentives a little over $500,000 to our teachers and principals. And so that payout is forthcoming. It will be the next 30 days, I think, that finance has told me that we'll be able to process it. So I know our teachers and principals will be excited about the incentive pay for performance that they will be receiving. The last week as well as today, we have been administering the end of course testing here at the high school and also to our 8th graders who are in the end of course subject areas. And today was our last day for the testing, and we will be having a makeup test for those who have missed one or more segments of that. And so, but that has gone very smooth, and I wanted to share that with the board. In addition, I'd like to take this opportunity tonight to express to the board my sincere appreciation for allowing me, and not only the board, but the public as well, to serve as your superintendent. For the past 6 years, Marlboro County has been my home, and it is my hope to continue here as superintendent for years to come. I would like to thank the board for its favorable and most recent evaluation of my work performance. The large majority numerical ratings received overall placed me in the commendable and satisfactory category. While there are areas and opportunities for growth, I believe we are well on our way of continuing to make progress here in Marlboro County. Please know that I am excited and more than willing to continue as your superintendent, working with each of you in the most positive way to provide the best for each of our students. The professional employment agreement between me and the school board in Section 9 of the evaluation states, in part, to conclude the evaluation, the board shall meet in executive session for the purpose of discussing the results of the evaluation and any related matters, such as the terms of the superintendent's contract. Therefore, at this time, I would like to ask the board to reconsider a request made earlier to extend my contract and to increase my annual compensation. As you are aware, since coming to the district 6 years ago, I've never received any additional increase in salary. Thank you again, ever so kindly, and together we can make a difference in the lives of our young people here in Marlboro County. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Tiller. Now we need to go into executive session. How many resignations did you say?
We have 3 elections.
Elections, okay. All right.
3 elections, and also I did include information in the board packet on the consultant, the policy that governs that. I did share that information with Dave Duff, and he has sent a written response, which is in your board packet, and I think Ms. Parsons had it on the agenda.
Mm-hmm, I do. So we have, do we have resignations?
No, ma'am.
No, okay.
Elections.
So we need to go into executive session for no resignations, 3 hires, high school petitions. I thought that was over. Okay. And the superintendent's contract and then employment matters, consultant employee classification for legal briefing, which constitutes the letter that we were sent. So would someone make a motion, please?
So moved, Madam Chairman.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor, please raise your right hand. And it's a unanimous vote, and we are going to executive session. Pretend you're in your seat already. Would someone make a motion to go back into open session?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion is carried unanimously. No action was taken. No decision was made. Ms. McCall, we
Madam
need to
Chair.
vote on 3 hires.
Forward, I request approval of 3 new hires.
Would someone make a motion,
Madam
please?
Chairman, move to accept these new hires as recommended by the administration.
I second.
All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. Motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. And then Ms. Owenation has a motion to make regarding consultants and employee classification.
Madam Chairman, I make a motion that the superintendent review over the next 2 weeks classification of employees with particular view toward consultants and get back to the board with her evaluation of that status.
All right, thank you. Is there a second? All right, all in favor, raise your right hand. And the motion's carried unanimously. Mr. Coachman, do your thing.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we hurry up and adjourn this meeting.
Is there a second? All in favor, raise your right hand.
Carolina fan.